Welcome to the Workplace Minute, powered by H3 HR Advisors and sponsored by WorkHuman. Thanks for joining me for your quick briefing on what's important in the world of work. My name's Steve Boese. Today on the show, we're taking a look at how one state is leading the nation in recognizing and requiring that inclusion at work also needs to include women working while experiencing menopause. Let's break it down. Rhode Island will now provide workplace accommodations for women experiencing menopause. This groundbreaking move makes the state the first in the nation to mandate any accommodations related to menopause by law. Effective June 24th, the state's Fair Employment Practices Act, which covered conditions relating to pregnancy, labor, and postpartum, added menopause to the list of conditions it covers. Under the amended act, reasonable accommodations for menopause or menopause-related conditions, including, quote, the need to manage the effects of vasomotor symptoms, such as hot flashes, one of the most common menopause symptoms, are included. The bill, however, did not provide more detail on what reasonable accommodations might look like. Rhode Island officials explained the impetus behind the extension of the Fair Employment Practices Act. Menopause is a difficult and personal subject that has been stigmatized in this country, said Senator Lori Urso, who introduced the legislation, in a press release. But it's high time we normalize it, especially for the benefit of women in the workplace. The senator added that a lack of such protections contributes to the gender pay gap and causes women to lose leadership opportunities. Under Rhode Island's Fair Employment Practices Act, the state already required employers with at least 4 employees to provide accommodations for pregnant persons and conditions related to pregnancy and childbirth. And at least 31 states mandate such accommodations, a number that has been rising in recent years. And all 50 states must require some accommodations for lactations as well, and that's under the Fair Labor Standards Act. And in 2022, the PUMP Act expanded those protections to include more industries like nursing, education, truck drivers, and more. However, menopause accommodations have long been overlooked, and that's in spite of the fact that the normal, yet often uncomfortable condition impacts nearly half of the population. An estimated 85% of women experience symptoms such as mood swings, migraines, hot flashes, insomnia, anxiety, night sweats, and more during menopause. For some, those symptoms can be severe. However, until now, no state has legally acknowledged that condition in the workplace. And the ACLU of Rhode Island spoke to the importance of the legislation in a press release. Menopause is a natural and common phase in the lives of millions of individuals, but its impact and symptoms can have profound and long-lasting effects on a person's health and daily life. They continued, the ACLU of Rhode Island supports the bill, which would make explicit that employers must provide reasonable accommodations to employees experiencing menopause, just as the law currently requires accommodations for various pregnancy-related conditions. By extending protections to those experiencing menopause, we can ensure that they are given the necessary accommodations to continue performing their jobs effectively. Let's step back a little bit. Expanding workplace inclusivity to support women experiencing menopause is not just the right thing to do, and now it's the law in Rhode Island. It's also a smart business decision. Menopause symptoms can significantly impact performance, well-being, and attendance, yet the topic has historically been overlooked or stigmatized in the workplace. By acknowledging this phase of life and offering accommodations such as flexible schedules, temperature control, access to wellness resources, manager education, and more, employers can help reduce stigma, improve retention, and support the long-term engagement of a critical segment of the workforce, often women in leadership, management roles, or in their peak earning years. And becoming known as a menopause-friendly employer can also deliver meaningful reputational and talent-related benefits. And it signals that the organization values health equity and understands the real-life experiences of its employees. This can strengthen employee loyalty, attract top talent across generations, and bolster a company's brand as inclusive and forward-thinking. Just as companies once adapted to better support pregnancy, parental leave, and mental health, making a visible investment in menopause support helps build a culture of empathy, dignity, and longevity in the workplace. That's it for today. Thanks so much for listening, and a big thank you to WorkHuman for supporting the Workplace Minute. If this sparked ideas about expanding your own support systems for your employees, please share it with a colleague. I'm Steve Boese, and this has been the Workplace Minute from H3 HR Advisors.